àǹtí mi ẹ súnmọ́ bí ẹ wá gbọ́ tuntun ẹ súnmọ́ bí ẹ wá gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti ń circulate láti bí ọjọ́ mẹ́ta but torí àwọn tó ń ṣèkà lọ́dọ̀ mi kò lè jẹ́ kí n gbé fídíò yẹn jáde but now mo ti ṣetán láti sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí mo sọ fún yín pé bàbá yín ń ṣe bẹ̀bẹ̀ lọ́tẹ̀ ọlọ́run èmi láìkí ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ I love it because many people máa sọ fún mi pé ẹbí mo ṣe háàṣì tẹ́lẹ̀ kọ́ ni mo ṣe sọ mo sọ fún yín several times pé tí Jagaba ń bá ṣe ń tó dáa I will talk tó bá ṣe ń tí ò dáa I will talk you ìwọ ni tó o bá fẹ́ gbọ́ kó o lọ sleep kó o lọ sùn now kóòtù ti give order o lórí Abacha loot owó tí Abacha tó jí kó tó lùtì àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n ń pè ní sharap yes àwọn ni wọ́n wà nípa bí wọ́n ètò owó nínú Nàìjíríà bọ́n ṣe máa náwó iye tán máa ná jáde iye tán máa kó jáde nísìnyí wọ́n gbé ìgbésẹ̀ ilé ẹjọ́ dẹ̀ ti dá wípé ẹ̀yìn pé president náà ni Abacha tẹ́lẹ̀ rí wọ́n lówó tó lùtì wọ́n ti wá fún àwọn tó jẹ pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ àwọn tó jẹ pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ wọ́n ti fún wọn ní gbèdéke ọjọ́ méje that 7 days ultimatums pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ sọ bí tí owó yẹn wọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe ná owó yẹn bí owó yẹn ṣe jẹ́ bí tó gbà lọ báwo ló ṣe bó ló ṣe pòórá wọ́n fún Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́ Yar'Adua sẹ́wọ̀n pé Yar'Adua náà ṣe lẹ́yìn yẹn ni Goodluck Jonathan torí ẹ má gbàgbé pé Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́ ló kọ́kọ́ jẹ pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì nígbà tí Ọbásanjọ́ jẹ pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì tán ló fún Goodluck Yar'Adua ló gbé lé ìjọba Yar'Adua lọ́wọ́ but Yar'Adua ò lo ọjọ́ pípẹ́ torí pé Goodluck Jonathan ni first president nígbà náà òun ló take over first president Yar'Adua ni Goodluck Jonathan ló take over ní time tí mò ń sọ yìí òun náà wà lára wọn àti Muhammadu Buhari yẹn ghostman tó lọ títí ẹ̀ yẹn ghostman yes ó ní wọ́n fún wọn ní gbèdéke báyìí ọjọ́ méje wọ́n nísìn àwọn wá náà ṣe ibi ìjọba Tinubu náà ló wà ń bẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn náà fún wọn ní gbèdéke ọjọ́ méje wọ́n fún Ọbásanjọ́ àti gbogbo àwọn pípì ilé ẹjọ́ fún wọn lọ́jọ́ méje kán wá sí àkáǹtì bí tí owó gbà lọ wọ́n ní kán wá sí àkáǹtì bí tí owó wọ̀ ibi báwo náà ṣe ná owó yẹn ohun tó tiẹ̀ the funnest part is ni pé the finance minister Buhari eléyìí tó wà nígbà tí regime finance minister regime administration ti Buhari I don't know maybe bóyá òun náà ló ṣì wà pẹ̀lú administration ti Jagaba nsìn I don't know ìyẹn recent president of Nigeria that is Bola Ahmed Tinubu I don't know maybe the man is still the minister of him I don't know now ẹ gbọ́rọ̀ tó sọ nígbà tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ ó lóun ò ní rẹ́kọ̀dù àwọn ò ní rẹ́kọ̀dù fún gbogbo owó tó wọlé bó ṣe ń jáde ayé yín máa ẹ̀yin dẹ̀ wà Nàìjíríà you are there àbí o sì jókòó pa síbẹ̀ wọ́n láwọn ò mọ bówó ṣe ń wọlé bówó ṣe ń jáde ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń gbọ́ billion owó tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ní Abacha loot is 5 what 5 billion US dollar owó tó bó didi gbogbo ìlú Nàìjíríà yóò tún ṣẹ́kù 5 billion US dollars ó ní Abacha loot táwọn kan dẹ̀ jókòó tán láwọn ò mọ bó ṣe ń lọ àwọn ilé ìjókòó wọn láwọn ò mọ bówó ṣe ń wọlé báwọn owó ṣe ń jáde ìwọ dẹ̀ jókòó síbẹ̀ ó defend àwọn ìjọba ọ̀daràn ìwọ jókòó síbẹ̀ ó defend wọn pé kọ́ mọ̀ sọ anything nípa gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì you are sitting there to defend this evil government àwọn ẹni burúkú ẹni àdánù yìí ẹ wá dúdú owó yìí tí wọ́n kó pamọ́ ẹ wá dúdú owó tí wọ́n jẹ ẹ dákun ibo lówó ìwà ibo ló wọlé sí àwọn owó tá ń sọ nípa rẹ̀ ibo ni àwọn owó ìwọlẹ̀ sí because I don't know èmi náà bí wọn náà lérè ibo ni owó yẹn wọlẹ̀ sí 5 billion US dollar láti 22 years ago calculate it for the past 23 years back kan ti lùtì 5 billion US dollars kò sẹ́ni kankan tó lè mú ìyá dẹ̀ ń jara àlú ebi ń pa ìwọ ń ké wọ́n má jẹ́ ìròjọ́ jú o mo fẹ́ kó farabalẹ̀ wo fídíò yìí kó tiẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ wò that is a evidence torí ẹ̀ máa ń sunkún fake news ní Arise TV News ẹ bá mi gbé wọn travailler thank you.
In an order by the Federal High Court in Abuja requesting the federal government to account for the $5 billion Abacha loot and for the details of the spending to be made public. In a judgment delivered on July 3rd in a case filed by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, the presiding judge, James Omotosho, ordered President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to disclose the exact amount of money stolen by General Sani Abacha from Nigeria, the total amount recovered, and all agreements signed by the governments of former presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, Umaru Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari. The judge also ordered the government to disclose the details of the projects executed with the Abacha loot, locations of any such projects, and the names of companies and contractors that carried out the projects since the return of democracy in 1999 till date, as well as the specific roles played by the World Bank and other partners in the execution of any projects funded with the Abacha loot. Well, let's take some reactions, Dr. Abati, before we discuss. This is from Arinze, who wrote, "How did $5 billion leave Nigeria? Where did the funds come from? Which federal government account? How was it taken abroad? Where was it placed?" Then we can begin to discuss how it came back and so on. I guess he posed a lot of questions there. This is from Dr. Bature. He wrote, "This is a win for Nigeria at large. Courtesy Serap Nigeria, the $5 billion truly needs to be accounted for. What are the projects executed with the recovered loot? We didn't feel the positive impact of the recovered loot. I hope there will be full compliance with the judgment. It is our money." Dr. Abati, it is our money. I know you always use that. I mean, Nigerians are saying it is our money. But again, it is a big win for Serap. You know that Serap has been doing the Lord's work in, filing these cases. And this is a new administration. And I'm hoping that they will do right by this judgment. That is actually the question. What's going to happen? This judgment, they're saying that it should comply within 7 days. What's going to happen if there's no compliance?
Number one, yes, I agree with you absolutely. That is a big win for SERAP, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, a civil society group, a non-governmental organization that has been very active, that has been in the forefront of raising questions about the economy, about accountability, and using the Freedom of Information Act majorly as a tool of engaging the Nigerian state. Now, the major issue here is about the right of the citizen to know.
Yes.
Because we have the right to know. So when you say it is our money, what you are saying also is that the people who are the owners of the money have the right to know how that money was spent. That's number one. Number two, it's also a reminder of the kind of corruption that went on under General Sani Abacha. As the Nigerian government, one after the other, got money either from Switzerland or the Cayman Islands or from New Jersey. Abacha got a new title as the ancestor that is always given from the grave, because it looks like there was no end, to the amount of money that have been stashed away, which is also why in many of these African countries, and also at the level of the AU, this illicit theft, illicit transfer of national treasure to banks overseas to safe havens has been a major problem. Now, let me go back to the point about how it's a triumph for SERAP in terms of using the Freedom of Information Act. Justice James Omotosho based the ruling on Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act. Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act simply says that, look, if a public institution is going to deny access to information that is being requested, now you must state reasons why you are not granting that access. And you must communicate same to the body or group that is asking for that information, the applicant, seeking access to that particular information. If you do not do so, you are liable under that Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act to a fine of 500,000 naira, and the applicant can seek redress in court. So what SERAP has done is to go to court, and the court has now ruled that the Ministry of Finance cannot avail itself of the provisions of Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act. So it's simply, a matter of law. And the expectation is that the Ministry of Finance must respect that passed on, is to